Hola, bienvenidos al podcast del Conditional. Welcome, I'm Señora Stanias, and in this podcast we will be looking at the conditional tense in Spanish. Be sure you have your grammar packet with you as you go through this podcast to take notes and write down any questions that you may have. Remember that we use the conditional in Spanish when we want to express the idea of what would happen. These are the conditional endings. You can see they all carry an accent. One example with dar, you have daría, darías, daría, daríamos, daríais, darían. The conditional tense uses the same endings for all AR, ER, and IR verbs. And for all regular verbs, as with dar, you can see the example, the endings are added to the infinitive. We do have some irregulars. You will notice that these verbs have the same irregular stem as the future. So I've listed them for you here again, and now I've given you an example in just the yo form. So we have cabría, habría, podría, querría, sabría, pondría, saldría, tendría, valdría, vendría, diría, haría. Now let's look at the uses of the conditional. Again, we use the conditional to express what would occur under certain circumstances. So, en Venezuela, ¿qué lugar visitarías primero? Iría primero a Caracas y después a Isla Margarita. We also use the conditional to make polite requests. Me gustaría cobrar este cheque. ¿Podría firmar aquí en el reverso? We also use the conditional in subordinate clauses. The conditional is used in these situations to express what would happen after another action took place. If we want to express what will happen after another action takes place, then we would use the future instead. You can see with these two examples. Creía que hoy haría mucho viento. And we can compare that to creo que mañana hará mucho viento, which requires the future. Another example or use of the conditional is that we would use it to express conjecture or probability about a past condition or event. To do that same thing in English, we would use expressions such as wondered, must have been, or was probably. So, ¿qué hora era cuando regresó? Serían las 8. ¿Cuánta gente había en la fiesta? O había como 20 personas. And finally, we will use the conditional in reported statements that are made in the future tense. Iremos a la fiesta. Dijeron que iría a la fiesta. This concludes this podcast. Make sure you complete the Google Doc at the bottom of this podcast and include any questions you may have. Gracias y hasta mañana.